Kelley's Outdoor Adventures, the RV Drifters. We're packing up. We're leaving Verde Ranch RV Park in Camp Verde, and we're heading about 20 miles up the road to the Dead Horse Ranch State Park in Cottonwood, Arizona. Because this was going to be a short drive day, we decided to wash Willy and Nilly before checking in at our next RV park. So the wash of both Willy and Nilly took us about $40 to $50 and a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But gosh, Willy and Nilly look great. We made the 20-mile drive. It took us about 30 minutes to head up there.
Oh, I have to go around. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, we're on the other side.
And we got checked in to Site 58. This was a pretty nice state park. We're going to be here about a week. We had water and electric for our hookups. The cost was about $35 a night. Not too bad.
Not too bad. It's a little tight back in there where the outdoor kitchen is, but the Blackstone setup just on the back side. We got plenty of room, and I think we'll adjust Willy to sit sideways here so we don't have to fight with sticking out in the road like she is right now, like he is right now. But Cook's campfire area, a nice picnic table there. So yeah, I think we're happy campers here.
I took a walk up on the hill up above our campsite, and I could see the top of Humphreys Peak up just outside of Flagstaff. And of course, the first thing I did was did a quick walkabout to check out the area. The Dead Horse Ranch State Park had several walking trails around. One of them was right in line with Nilly. It's kind of cool coming back towards the camper and seeing it sitting there.
That is one beast looking truck. That looks sweet.
And it was time for a bike ride.
All right, well, we made it here to Dead Horse Ranch State Park in Cottonwood, Arizona. And I'd say overall, the town is
Bike friendly.
those of you who know the area well know that that little town up there in the mountains, right up there, is Jerome.
Debbie and I will be making a trip up there later this week. So the next day I took a quick solo trip into Old Town Cottonwood to see the area.
The Merkin Vineyards and Gelatura. I am not quite sure what that is. Might have to go investigate this and check it out.
Well, I never did figure out what the gelateria was, but the vineyard and restaurant was sat way up high on the mountain, and I had to take a stairway, or I walked the stairway up. You see there is a tram there on the right. Well, that only runs Fridays and Saturdays, and it does cost $1 to use the tram, but it's a round trip for $1. But once at the top, I checked out the restaurant and decided that Debbie and I would come back that night for a fun night out and try to see the sunset. But we saw the moon instead.
Awesome looking moon.
Looks like a sun.
It does.
Oh, it's coming up even more. Just standing here. Oh, look at that.
So if you guys get a chance to go to Cottonwood, we highly recommend this 5-star restaurant and vineyard. And we set off to Clarksdale, which was the home of the Tuzigoot National Monument. This is some remnants of an old Native American city that dates back to, I don't know, 900 years.
I'm guessing that is Tuzigoot, and that's what we're going to go see. All right, so we are at the Tuzigoot National Monument, and we just went in and showed them my National Parks Pass and got in for free. They have a nice little museum in there, a little gift shop, and now we're going to head up to, I guess, the Tuzigoot ruins, if that's what you want to call it, and we'll see from here. Ancient city. Estimated to have about 6,000 residents back in 1300 BC, what is now considered Cottonwood, Arizona, Cottonwood, Arizona today. Literally was built like a fort in a lot of ways, up on the hilltop, overseeing a valley, which is surrounded by a mountain range, basically pretty much all the way around it. So they would be able to watch and see anybody coming or going within several miles in all directions. And it literally had like one entrance from the outside, and housed about 6,000 residents. Check that out. They've come to the conclusion that from 1050 to 1180 is the blue section, and then it goes all the way up to 1380. So this is the duration of this particular complex.
And over the many hundreds of years, several tribal nations considered this their home. So at the very beginning of our self-guided tour, there was a little placard here talked about Montezuma's well. We had just done a video on that, I don't know, 2 videos ago. So if you missed that, you should go back and check it out. There were placards depicting some of the historical facts and figures and the way the buildings were made. These weren't necessarily the top layers. They were, because of the deterioration over the 1,000+ years. There was a lot of crumbling and a lot of the roofs had collapsed on top of each other. So it took quite a while to dig all this out.
This place is pretty amazing. The mortar eroded, roofs collapsed, walls collapsed. So been burying a lot of the lower level sections of the rooms. So they dug this out. This is basically an entire city of Tuzigoot and other pueblos throughout the Verde Valley were occupied for hundreds of years, longer than the United States has actually even been a country. They thrived and prospered, but in the late 1800s, people began to leave. According to the Hopi Indians, the Verde Valley was never intended to be a permanent home site. Instead, it was a one-stop to a much larger migration. Eventually, the time for the migration continued. It's possible that the changing weather patterns, crop failures, or breakdown of ancient trade relationships were signals that it was time to move on. They did not all leave at once. Some stayed behind. Those who could not travel just remained here. Yavapai say their ancestors left the pueblos and the farms for more of a mobile lifestyle for hunting and gathering purposes. So these lower rooms are pretty much intact. They have packed some mud and mortar in, but these lower rooms were completely intact when they started excavating this. What a view. What a view.
And of course, every new location, we try to do a selfie. When we left Tuzigoot, we went on up to Jerome to find some dinner. Debbie drove up this time. I don't do well on some of the twisty-turny roads on the way up to Jerome, so Debbie got behind the wheel, and we went out to find dinner in Jerome. Innocent Grapes died for you. It was early in the day, too early for dinner, so we did some bar hopping. We hit a saloon, I think a brewery, and a winery before settling in on the haunted hamburger. The website shows that the restaurant is open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The restaurant has a history of haunted sighting. Things like cans flying off the shelves and hot water being turned on in the middle of the night. But I'm not real sure about all that. I can tell you that the food was good and the beer was great. And we wanted to head back down the mountain before it got too dark. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up right here. I'd like to thank everybody for watching another one of our videos.
Cool looking Belfry Brewery.
Perhaps on another adventure. Hey, there'll be another video coming out next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things. Keep connected to all of our adventures. And as always, and until next time, cheers everybody.